Chapel Hill police investigating after two people were hit by a car.
After a car hit two teenagers, Chapel Hill
Police confirming a pedestrian has been hit.
Chapel Hill driver is charged with hitting a woman
on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
On Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
On Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
It happened on MLK Boulevard.
Martin Luther King Boulevard is basically a killing field for people. My name is John Rees. I was the former president of the Carolina Tar Wheel Bicycle Club. I also was a Chapel Hill Planning Commissioner until recently. I was the chair of the Planning Commission. I was on that commission for 6 years, and I'm currently a board member of the Bicycle Alliance of Chapel Hill. The purpose of the Bicycle Alliance of Chapel Hill is essentially to promote cycling safety, and also to advocate for the town and the state, for that matter, to spend money and spend resources to actually make the town and the area that we live in safe for everyone to ride bikes, people of all abilities. We work with other organizations to push the needle forward for bicycle advocacy and safety. I'm a recreational cyclist also, and that's kind of where I got started in this area in cycling. But I very quickly realized that I could use my bike for other things. And I actually joined the Planning Commission specifically to give myself a little bit more voice and awareness of how things work in the town. You know, it's very easy for people to oversimplify how difficult it is to get even a sidewalk someplace. Nothing is as easy as you think it's going to be. And being involved and being a member of the Planning Commission actually helped me understand that, understand how the process worked, how it works against us, and also how we can use the process to work for us, especially in ways of getting funding and grants. Being involved in knowing who the players are and how this process works is beneficial to understanding how you can use the system to help everybody. I think the biggest issue is the lack of connectivity. We have greenways, but very few of them are actually connected to one another. So if you've ever used any of the town's greenways, or for that matter, if you used any greenways in most of North Carolina, you might find yourself riding it for a mile or two, and then it just abruptly ends. And so they're not effective ways to get around. They're great for people who live near them, but no one should have to drive their car to a greenway. Everyone should have the privilege to be able to just walk down their street and in just a very short distance have access to a greenway network. And that's not there. And part of the problem is the Department of Transportation does not fund greenways. They only fund roads. And the only time you'll see a bicycle facility that they do spend money on is if it's part of a road improvement project. So you might see like a road reconstruction, and as part of that, you'll notice that they've actually put a nice multi-use path along it. So the challenges are, we need to both connect communities to these greenways, and we also need to basically build communities that actually are amenable to that. Another thing that's important is safe crosswalks, like Martin Luther King Boulevard is basically a killing field for people. There is subsidized housing projects, and it's a food desert. So people who live along this corridor, they go to convenience stores to get things like milk and food, and they have to cross this road. The road has a speed limit of 35 miles per hour, but we all know that people don't drive that speed on this road. Earlier last year, a person my age, a 60-year-old man, was crossing the road and was killed. And the town is working to put crosswalks and safety signals on, but they get a lot of resistance from the Department of Transportation. And what's really surprising, they get a lot of resistance from the neighbors. And this is why you need advocates. We spend a lot of money to widen a road, and we spend nothing on making it safe to cross. People are dying on the street. They need to balance, their delay of like 10 seconds, to get to the store versus the lives of people who have families and, children. It's not fun crossing the street. In fact, it's downright practically impossible. So we need to move away from a car-oriented world. Cars are important. I have a car. I'm not saying get rid of all the cars, but we need to focus our communities more on things other than cars, because they take up a lot of space, they hurt people when people get hit by them, and they just create logjams. Going back to greenways and connectivity, we really need to make communities that focus on that. We have plenty of roads already. We don't need to build another road. We spent millions and hundreds of millions of dollars over the previous generations. We need to stop doing that. And the money that we used to spend on that, we spend on greenways and connected communities. So anybody who's using the bike and they get frustrated and they think that the town should do something, well, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to actually get engaged, because the towns are always looking for people to help them. It takes everybody who's interested in moving this forward to engage, even if it's just one day a year. The Bicycle Alliance needs people. We need especially, youthful members of the public. Most of them are old geezers like me. It's important to have people from the university, students, grad students, young professionals. We need people from all walks of life, in all economic statures, to be involved in bicycle advocacy.